I cannot hear you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you practicing
Your,
anything?
yeah, because I'm in traveling. I'm in still cab.
Oh, okay. Fine. It's okay. You can be on mute. No problem. I thought you have come back.
No. I'll. Yes, that's why.
Okay, no problem. Okay. In the last class, we started phrase management, right? I told you about the different data objects in phrase management, and also we saw what are the applications of phrases. Next, I actually started this, like, what are the transaction codes applicable? So I was just taking up this and we got disconnected. So phrase library, if you want to create, we use transaction code SPRO. It is a customizing activity where you go into SPRO and you create the library. Secondly, to create a phrase group also, the same transaction code is applicable, SPRO. In fact, within the phrase library, we are going to create the phrase group. Third, to create a phrase set, I told you last time, we use transaction code CG1B. And number 4, in order to create the phrases, we use transaction code CG12. Okay, these are the applicable transaction codes when it comes to creating the phrase related data objects. Now what we'll do is we'll create all these data objects we are going to create as a exercise, and then hopefully you should also create, right, create and send me the, because no, till now only Neela has sent me, nobody else has sent. Whether you created specification or not, I don't know. Okay, so this is what we are going to today. We'll create all these data objects in the phrase management. So therefore, first, before you start creating any data, you have to just make a note, like what are the data you are going to create, what should be the name of the library, what should be the name of the phrase groups. Like that, you have to, create some data, you put it in a notepad, and then you go and try out. If you think that I will keep in mind and directly I will create, you will not remember. So please make it a practice. First you write down points, what you want to create as a data in a notepad, and then you go into the practical, you go to the server and create the data. For example, see here I am planning to create a library called as ZMSDS. Okay, I want to create a library called as ZMSDS. Next, within that library, I am planning to create two phrase groups. One is called as, uh, what shall I create? Let's say firefighting. Firefighting measures will be one of the phrase group I will create, and one more I will create as first aid. See why I am giving such a short names here, because there are limited number of characters which are given. I cannot write very lengthy names to my phrase group. Same thing with the library also. I think 4 to 5 letters or characters only I can enter. That is why I am trying to create as small as possible. So instead of writing the complete name firefighting measures, I am just writing it in short terms so that I can accommodate in the available space. So these will be my two phrase groups. Similarly, I am also going to create two phrase sets, and first phrase set I will call it as fire underscore p set. Okay, fire underscore p set. Another phrase set I am going to create called as first underscore p set. Okay, I hope you are getting me what I am trying to create here. I hope you are able to make that connection. First of all, I will be creating a library just like our cust phrase library, customer phrase library was there, no? Like that. Yeah, Nila? You had any doubt?
No, sir. I said yes. I got that.
Okay. So library name I'm going to give ZMSDS, and within that library, just like how we saw in the customer phrase library, we had 78 phrase groups, no? But here, because it is example, I'm going to create only 2 phrase groups. And phrase set again, see, if you want, you can create just one, no problem. You can just put some phrase set name, and for both the phrase groups, you can use the same phrase set. But it is always good that you create different phrase set for different phrase groups. Otherwise, what will happen, you cannot differentiate. All the phrases will come under one phrase set. So it will be difficult for you when you want to segregate. So therefore, depending on the number of phrase groups you are going to create, you also create the equal number of phrase sets. And then we will create total 10 phrases. 5 phrases will create for firefighting measures, and another 5 phrases will create for first aid measures. So that is what the plan is. We'll start from the phrase library. Okay. So the library name I told you is ZMSDS. So I have to go to SPRO, reference IMG, EHS, then go to basic data and tools, go to phrase management, and then go to specify phrase libraries and phrase groups. Okay, we saw this last time. That was some other server. I am taking up some other server here so that I get to create some new phrase libraries. In that old server, I have created so many libraries. Okay, whichever library I try to create, already it is there. So that is why I am using some other server, and here we'll create the phrase library. So how do we create any new data here?
New entries.
Yeah, we have to go to new entries. Don't forget we are in SPRO. So I have to go to new entries, and under that, when I click on new entries, I'm going to get the screen where I have to enter the phrase library name, description of that phrase library. I can add a note if I want, then distributor details, and all that we have to enter. Okay, so let's do that. We'll first create a phrase library called ZMSDS. Why we are adding Z here first?
In this, while creating phrase library SAP, accept the Z in front of that.
Yeah, because letters A to X are reserved only for SAP. Okay, SAP company can only use. But if you want to also use any letter from A to X, you have to pay more money to SAP. Okay, then they will allow you. Without paying them more money or extra money, they will not allow you. Okay, that is why. That is the reason why we have to use either Y or Z. Not only Z, I can also use Y. Because if it is a free version, then you have to follow some rules. Especially in SPRO, at some places we have to create this. We have to actually either add Z or Y as the first letter. Right? Then come down to the phrase library description. And in the description section, I can add like MSDS phrase library. Let's say this is the description I am adding here. MSDS phrase library. Any note if you want to add, you can add, but it's just not mandatory. It's your wish. If you want to leave it blank, that is also okay. Then come down to distributor. What is the meaning of distributor? Distributor means it is some user ID you have to add. The person who is creating a library is called as a distributor. So anything you can add, maybe like you can put it as SAP EHS user 1 or any other name you can put. Publication date is the date on which we are creating the library. Today's date I am going to put, and version number, if at all you need a version number also you can assign. Okay, so this can be anything. You can give any name to the library, any description, distributor name, anything you can put, publication date also, you can choose whatever you want, and also version number. But here there are some data that you have to mandatorily use only those names. For example, here object name. Under object name, you should always use, what is that? EHS. Sorry, not EHS. One minute. ESN underscore PHR ID. Yeah. This is the technical name, technical object name. You should always use the same name. ESN underscore PHR ID means phrase ID. You cannot change. If you put some other name, then your library will not be created. So as a practice, this same name we have to use. It's a technical object name. And then below that, we have internal number range and external number range. In the internal number range, please put 0i. And for external number range, please enter 0e. These three data objects should be same. It should not change. Let it be any server you are using. You should always use the same name. You can change the other details, fine, no problem. But these things should be as it is. Now click on save. Okay, then click on continue. And that library will be created. You can just go back and check out your ZMSDS library should be available in the list. Yeah, here it is. Among all the other libraries, we have ZMSDS also, which we have created now. Okay, this is our library. So we completed first step, creating one data object, that is library. And now we have to create, one second, phrase groups. Now we have to create phrase groups. What is that? So the first phrase group is called firefight, because I remember I told you we can only use some limited number of characters. So therefore I cannot give a very lengthy name. I will just put it as fire underscore fight. That will be my first phrase group. Second phrase group will be first aid. So let's create them. Let's create them. I don't have to go to any other place. Directly from here itself I can create. Because we have created the phrase library, under that library I am supposed to create the phrase group. So therefore double click on phrase group now. First you have to select here. Without selecting you cannot go. First you have to select your MSDS phrase library, then you have to click on phrase groups. Right? Select ZMSDS, double click on phrase group, and here you have to add those two phrase groups which you are supposed to create. So first one, let me go to new entries, and like I told you, the first phrase group name is fire underscore fight. Already I had created in some other server. Fine, no problem. Fire underscore fight. Here I don't have to add Z or Y before. It is just applicable for a library. Here you can use any letter. Next, enter the phrase group description. I can write here firefighting instructions or firefighting phrase group. I think that will be fine. Let me call it as firefighting phrase group. Note if you want to add, fine. Otherwise, again, it's your wish. You can add if you want. Firefighting instructions. Something like that you can add. Firefighting instructions. This is my first phrase group. Now save this data. And if you go back under your library ZMSDS, you will find this phrase group already created. This is our first phrase group. Similarly, let's create one more. Go to new entries. Enter the phrase group name as first aid. And you can add here first aid phrase group. Why it is coming automatically? Because I had created this for some other class in some other server. So therefore, when I am trying to enter the same word, no, it is actually showing me the previous entry. That is why it is coming. But in your server, I am sure when you start creating like this, it will not show automatically. You have to enter the complete name. So here I'm going to add as a note first aid instructions. Okay, these are my two phrase groups. Now save this data again. And if you go back under our library ZMSDS, as you can see, there will be two phrase groups. One is firefight, another is first aid. Okay, clear so far? Let me know if you have any doubt so far. We created a library and we have created two phrase groups. Any doubt in this?
No, sir.
It's clear. You can create, no problem. Up to here, no problem.
Yes, sir, I can create.
Okay, fine. Now, what is the third step? We created
Phrase set.
library. Yeah. Which
Phrase
one?
set.
Phrase set. Yes. So the third data object, as you know, we have to create the phrase set. And to create the phrase set, like I told you before, this is the transaction code CG1B. So let's do that. I will open one more session and then I'll go to transaction code CG1B where you can create the phrase set. So what is the phrase set name? See, if you don't write in the notepad, then it becomes very difficult to recall what name to give and all. You will forget. So this is the phrase set name, fire underscore p set. I had decided this is the name I am going to give. Fire underscore p set. So again click on new entry. If you see here, we have a create button from the initial screen itself. If you click on create button, that will take you to another screen where you can add the phrase set name. So it is fire underscore p set, right? Let me check. Yeah, fire underscore p set. Next, you can add a note or a comment if you want. Otherwise, again, it's your choice. We can directly enter the phrase set name. So here I'm going to call it as firefighting phrase set. Firefighting phrase set. You can give anything else. I'm just giving this name. In fact, automatically it came. So I will save this here. This is my phrase set name, fire underscore p set. Next, after that, again go back, or you can create from here itself. This is my first phrase set I have created. Next, again I'll click on create button and give the phrase set name, second phrase set name, which is first underscore p set, right? First underscore p set. And then give a description to that phrase set name, first aid phrase set. Again, click on save. And this would create very simple. We have created two phrase sets. It's very easy. Go to create button and all you have to do is enter the phrase set technical name and give a description. Okay, you can create just one phrase set, that is enough, but here it is always better, depending on how many phrase groups you have, you create equal number of phrase sets. We create equal number of phrase sets. Okay, this is our third data object. Third data object. Number 4, now we have to create the phrases. So I told you we are going to create 10 phrases. We are going to create 5 under firefighting. So 5 firefighting measures and remaining 5 first aid measures we are going to create. Okay, so to do that, as you know, I'll open one more session and we'll go to transaction code CG12. CG12 transaction code for creating or editing or even to display the phrases, right? So click on, go to CG12 transaction code, and now here we need to create the phrases. So let's start doing that. First and foremost, go to the create button. Now this is the library name. If you remember, see there are many phrase libraries. We have to select our library. ZMSDS is our phrase library. So select that, ZMSDS. Next, give some name for your phrase. What should be the name for the phrase? It can be anything. Let's say I'm going to give here if firefighting. No, I'm going to put it as fire_01. This is the phrase name. And this phrase I'm going to create. By the way, see, there are two phrase groups. So I have to select under which phrase group I'm going to create the phrase. I'm going to create in the first phrase group firefight. Okay. So again, remember, this is our library name. This is the phrase name I'm giving, fire_01, and this is the phrase group name. And then come down to phrase text, and here you can give the actual instruction, firefighting instruction you can enter here. Phrase text means what exact data do you want to create under that phrase, that you have to mention. So for example, here I'm going to enter the name, use appropriate fire extinguishers depending on fire type. So if you are from EHS, you should know there are different types of fires. We have solid fires, we have liquid fires, we have kitchen fires, we have metal fires. There are different types of fires. And depending on what type of fire is currently you can see, you have to use a appropriate fire extinguisher. For example, if it is a flammable liquid which is on fire, you cannot use water there. Or if you are having any documents, let's say documents, there you cannot use water type of fire extinguisher, because those papers are going to be destroyed, those documents will be destroyed. So there you have to use carbon dioxide or maybe DCP or any other dry powder type that you can use, or halon. Right? So depending on what is the type of fire, you have to select the appropriate fire extinguisher. So that is the first phrase I'm selecting here. Now save on that first phrase. Okay. Now we have to assign the phrase set. See, what we have done so far is only we have created a phrase. Now this phrase is available under firefight phrase group under ZMSDS library. But after doing this, we have to connect the phrase set. That is why we created phrase set. If you don't connect a phrase set, then you cannot use these phrases in any application. Always you have to connect a phrase set. So therefore, click on the phrase set option. But when I am clicking on that option, see, I am getting a message here. This function can only be used for phrases in the active library. Remember what I told you. Why do we have to activate the library? Because whenever you are creating a new phrase, okay, that phrase in whichever library you are creating, that library should be active. Otherwise, you will not be able to create any phrase. So what I should do now, I have to go back to the library section. Currently the active library is ZERP. I have to change this. From ZERP, I have to select ZMSDS as the phrase library and save the data. So now the active library is ZMSDS. You can go back to the phrase. Where is that? You can go back here. Now, if you click on back button, as you know, we have, wait it. 1 minute, guys. Yeah, okay, here it is. ZMSDS-fire01 is my phrase key. This is the phrase I created, but till now we have not connected the phrase set. So click on phrase set Now you should be able to go. Last time it was saying that please select the appropriate library, like that we got the message. So therefore I went back to the library section. I selected MSDS as the active library. I made ZMSDS as the active library. After doing that, when I come back here and when I want to assign a phrase set, it is possible. So what is my phrase set name? Do you remember phrase set name? Fire underscore P set. This is my phrase set name. There are two phrase sets. I'm going to use the first one, fire underscore P set. Right? So again, go back to your phrase section and add here fire underscore P set. Right? This is my phrase set. Now press enter and save the data. Okay, let me go back. So our first phrase has been created. As you can see, fire underscore 01 is my first phrase. Like that we need to create 4 more. So what should I do next? From here you have to guide me.
What, sir? I'm not getting.
I want to create another phrase like this. See, I created one option, one phrase, no? Use appropriate fire extinguishers depending on fire type. Now I want to create the second one. How to create the second?
You can go
You have to
on
click on
create
the
button in the
Yeah.
upper tab.
Yeah. I can click on
And
create option. Yeah, next.
Here you can create means give,
the
give the
library
text
will
name
be
and
same,
Yeah.
phrase will be changed.
Yeah. Only I have to change the name of the phrase. Library, I don't have to change, no? It is same. I am creating in same library. Phrase name I am putting here fire underscore 02. Okay. Next, which phrase group should I select?
Fire one.
Yeah. Go to phrase group again. And as you know, there are 2 phrase groups. Select the first one, fire underscore fight. Okay. Next, come down to phrase text and assign the phrase text here. First one we have already used. Use appropriate fire extinguisher. Now I can say, do not use lift in case of fire emergency. Do not use lift in case of fire emergency. Again, this is a first aid, no, sorry, not first aid, firefighting instruction. Do not use lift in case of fire emergency. Next, click on save again. Right now, again go to phrase set and assign the phrase set. You can just click on the space button and it will show, and you can add that. Save the data. This is our second phrase. As you can see, it is again added in the list. First we created, this is the second one. To create the third one, again same process. Click on create. Just change this number, make it as fire 03, same library name and same phrase group name also. Then come down to phrase text and here you can add keep emergency exits free to operate, or you can say do not block the emergency exits, like that also you can write, no problem. Keep emergency exits free to operate and in unlocked condition, right? This is my phrase text. Again click on save, go to phrase set, assign the phrase set name and save the data. This is the third. Again click on create, change the number to 04, select first, phrase group and enter the phrase text. So what else? What else can we enter? Raise alarm when you observe fire at the workplace. Okay, raise alarm when you observe fire at the workplace. So again, this is fire safety instruction. Save this phrase text, go to phrase set and add the phrase set name and save the data. Similarly, we'll create one more. Go to create button, change the number to 05. Firefight is the phrase group name and add the phrase text. What else can we add? Do not block the fire extinguishers. Do not block the fire extinguisher. So wherever you are keeping the fire extinguisher, just ensure that you can easily reach to that place and you can use the fire extinguisher. In some companies, what they do, they will store all carton boxes or they will store some materials and that fire extinguisher will be completely blocked. If there is any fire and if you want to go and access that fire extinguisher, it is very difficult. So therefore, this is also a very important instruction. You need to keep the fire extinguishers in an unblocked condition. Okay, and inspection also, if you want to add, you can also say inspect the fire extinguishers regularly. Anyways, this is fine. Click on save button and assign the phrase set and save the data. So these are the 5 phrases I have created for firefighting and I have added all of them under the phrase group fire_fight. I created 5 phrases and they are available under the first phrase group fire_fight. Similarly, now we have to create another 5 set of phrases under the phrase group first aid measures. Right? So let me do that. Again, you can use here itself, we can go to create option. Okay, now tell me, what should I change anything now?
We can change the phrase name from fire 05 to first aid 01.
Yeah, okay. Let me just put it as first_01. Should I need to change the library?
No, we don't
No,
need
sir.
to change.
No, because under that same library I am creating both. There are 2 phrase groups, as you know, first aid measures and firefighting measures. So therefore I am not changing the library. Library name is same. I am only going to change the phrase name, and what else do we have to change?
Phrase group.
Phrase group we have to change, yes. So instead of firefight, now I have to use the first aid phrase group, correct?
Yes, sir.
We are creating another set of phrases, 5 phrases, and we are doing it in the first aid phrase group. So select that, go to the phrase text, and here you can add something like what can we add? Call an ambulance immediately if there is a severe injury. Okay, some first aid instruction I am adding. Call an ambulance immediately if there is a severe injury. Now save the phrase, click on phrase set. Yeah, so here what phrase set should I use? Same one which I used earlier.
First_p set.
First_p set. Let me check. Yeah, first_p set. This is my phrase set name. So I can just add that phrase set name. Okay, press enter and save the data. See what will happen if you make any mistake here. Let's say, for example, you forgot to enter P set. Okay, you just put it as PSC. So what will happen? It will say that it does not exist. The phrase set that you are trying to enter does not exist. So therefore, be careful what letters you are using. Spelling should be correct. Just that is why I tell you, first make a note of all the data you want to create, then you go and create the data. Otherwise, what will happen? You will be confused. Why I am getting this message? You will be confused. So just be careful with the spellings. Whatever data you are creating, add it exactly like that. Okay, this is my phrase set name. So save the data, and if you come back, you have the first phrase for first aid instructions. Again, same process. Go to create. Just change the phrase number to 02. Phrase group now is first aid, and then add the phrase text. What can we add? Only
Do not
train.
fracture the patient.
Hmm?
Do
Yeah,
not
tell me.
move the fracture the patient.
Do not move
The
the
fractured patient.
fractured. Uh, do
Person.
not move the employee with fracture, with fractures. If you don't move, then how will you take him to hospital?
After ambulance comes, they will only shift with the help of stretcher.
Yeah, but here you are not telling no all that. Here you are only telling do not move the employee with fractures. It's okay, you can create anything. This is just an example. I'm just telling you. Okay, do not move the employee with fractures because it may cause again internal bleeding and it may cause much more condition will get worse. So therefore they have to first secure that employee, use a stretcher and then they have to move, right? Okay, fine. This can be your second instruction. And save the data, go to phrase set and add the phrase set name. Save, and this is our second phrase. Next again go to create, change the phrase name to 03, add phrase group name first aid, then add, yeah, what other instruction? First aid to be provided by only trained first aiders. Only trained first aiders. We need to have people who know how to give the first aid, right? Otherwise, what will happen? You are trying to help that injured person, but in turn, you are going to create more injury to him. That is what happens here in India. If somebody is not breathing or somebody is having fits, then they will give the chain to him and they will make him to drink water. All that we should not do. Especially when the person is unconscious, you should not try to give him water because that water may enter into his lungs and he may not be able to breathe, he will suffocate. So all these things the first aider will know, but if any unknown person goes and trying to help the person, then it's not going to work. Okay, so only a trained first aider has to provide the first aid treatment. Okay, save this data, go to phrase set, assign the phrase set name, and again save the data. Create, change the number to 04, first aid phrase group name. Yeah, what else can we create?
Wash your eyes with continuous flow of water.
For what?
Means in case of any exposure to
Huh.
eye.
Yeah, in case of eye injury, not injury, what should I say?
Eye exposure.
Okay, let me put it like that. In case of eye exposure, please use eye wash station. Maybe like that I will put. Use eye wash station. Okay. Save. Phrase set. Add phrase set name and save. So total 4 we have created. We'll create one more. Just change the number Phrase group first aid. Yeah, what else can we add? Inform the physician regarding the injury if the employee is unconscious. Again, just as an example, okay, inform the physician regarding the injury of the employee regarding the injury if the employee is unconscious. Okay, this is fine. This is some other phrase text I am creating. Fifth one. So again, save the data, assign the phrase set as we did before. Okay, and save. Oh. Yeah, and save the data. So we have created total 10 phrases under our ZMSDS library, and also there are 2 phrase groups which are there in that library, plus there are 2 phrase sets. So in total, these are the phrases we have created. Now from the initial screen, see, now total 10 phrases are there, but from the initial screen, depending on which library, which phrase group you want to see or which phrases you want to see, you can select the appropriate one. Okay, for example, from the initial screen, first you have to select the library name, no doubt. Now, if I just press enter, it will show all the phrases which are present in that library. So there are 10 phrases. If I just press enter, it will show all those 10 phrases. But again, you can make a choice. Maybe like you want to see only the firefighting measures. In such a case, go to phrase group, select the firefight as the phrase group name, press enter. Now it will only show you the firefighting phrases. So from the initial screen, you have all these options. Whichever phrase group you want to access, you can do that. Otherwise, you can also display the entire list of phrases. Both are fine. Okay. So this is how you create all the 4 data objects in a phrase management. We saw how to create the phrase library, how to create the phrase groups. By the way, both are very similar. Once you go and create a phrase library, within that we have to create the phrase groups. But only for phrase set and phrases, we have to use 2 different transaction codes. Right? Clear so far? Any doubt? You will be able to create this data?
Yes, sir. We will try.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Create and send me the screenshot. And use something else. Don't copy the same thing. Okay, whatever I am writing here, fine. For your reference, when you are creating, create. No problem. But when you are creating anyways, you create one more library name, something else. You can give your choice. Select any other 2 phrase groups, and then you can create 2 phrase sets. Right? So if you copy the same thing, what will happen? You will not be able to think. You cannot come out with new ideas. So therefore, just try something new. Like instead of ZMSDS, you create some other library name, like work permit system, for example. Let's say ZWPS, work permit system. Under that, you can create 2 phrase groups. One may be work at height, another may be confined space. So then you go and create 2 phrase sets, WAH work at height underscore P set and confined space CONF underscore P set, right? Then you create 5 phrases for working at height, what safety instructions you have to follow, and then for the confined space, what safety instructions you have to follow. Very simple. That is something new. Or apart from that, you want to create something related to, let's say, chemical safety. You can create a library name called ZChem, for example, and then you create 2 phrase groups, chem underscore safe and chem underscore trans or transportation. Under that, phrase groups, you create five instructions. And then phrase set also you can create same way. Maybe you can put chem underscore pset 01, chem chem underscore pset 02, like that. You try out something new. I'm just giving you some examples, but otherwise okay. Just if you want to practice, you can even create the same data that I have created. That is fine. But try for sure, whether it is my data or your own data, don't forget to try, because practice is more important in SAP. Otherwise, it will just be a theory. So create all this data, right? Make a notepad, open a notepad, write down what you want to actually create, what will be the phrase library name, what should be the phrase groups, and what should be the phrase sets, and then you go directly create the phrases. Right? So please try this out. This is one assignment I am giving in the phrase management. Apart from this, there is one more thing I want to discuss, that is called as custom phrase. Creating a custom phrase. What do I mean by custom phrase? We have created all the 4 data objects. This is fine. I started from the library and up to phrases. I have created one complete set. That is okay. But what is this custom phrase? Do you know? A custom phrase you have to create, especially when you need it in one of the value assignment types. Okay, let me go to the specification workbench. In one of the why it is showing no data. Oh, there is no data at all in this. How should I show you then? Okay, so this server has no specification. I don't think there is a single specification in this. Okay, what I can do is, I hope till here it is clear. So next what I will do, I will go to some other server, my usual server, and then there I will show you. Okay, because here I don't find any specification at all. Okay, then go to CG02BD. Open any specification. Anything will be fine. Yeah, let me change the property tree. Okay, in the MSDS property tree, just imagine I want to create some new phrase. Maybe I will go to handling and storage. Okay, advise on safe handling. Let's say here there are some already available phrases, I'm sure, but I want to create my own. First, let me show you. These are the available phrases, right? All these are phrases. Among these, I want to use a phrase, but it is not available here. Lot of phrases are there. Okay, I want to create a new phrase. Maybe I will go to some other more simpler one. Okay, here, maybe. Let me check here. Okay, here there are only a few phrases. So let's say I want to create some custom phrase in this. There are some options given, only never allow product to get in contact with water, no special restrictions on storage, do not store together material, no materials to be specially mentioned. Okay, there are some instructions here. Now, along with that, I want to add one more instruction, or I want to create a phrase. For example, uh, do not um, do not keep flammable liquids and explosive material close to each other. Okay, let's say I want to create that phrase. I don't have that phrase and I want to create that. Though it is, see, already it is there. Do not store together explosive, oxidizing, radioactive product. All that they have given. Let's imagine I want to create this new phrase. Uh, do not keep the flammable liquids and explosive material together. So how to create that? So far, if you have understood, so please suggest me from here, how do we create a custom phrase? And that phrase, whatever I told you, should be available here. I want to use it. So among these options, I want that phrase also. So how do we create? What all data do I need to create this? What do I need here? Where should I go and how to create that phrase? One new phrase I want to create. Just one custom phrase. Do I need to create a phrase library, phrase group, and phrase set? All that do I need to create, or can I use the
So
existing one?
existing one we can use to add only one.
Okay, we can use the existing one. Fine. So tell me what should be the library name, because you know how to create a phrase. To create a phrase, we have to go to CG12. I have to go to CG12 and here only I can create a new phrase. But when I go here, see all these I have to enter, no? Library name I should add, phrase group I should add, phrase name I should add. Without knowing, can I blindly add any name? What should be my library name? What should be my phrase group name? And what should be my phrase name? Where will I get this data?
It should be in SPRO.
In SPRO, there are many libraries. Which one you will find? Where you will find? Okay, let's say I go to SPRO. Fine. We will go to SPRO. But in SPRO, you know, there are many libraries. So which library will you select? See, so many are there. ZERP, ZCAM, even this, whatever I had created before, no, even they are available.
You can create yourself, which will start with Z and Z, right? Here,
You mean I should
you
create
can
a new library?
yes.
To create one new phrase, should I start from beginning?
We need to decide
Uh,
whether under
or
which
else
library we are going
else you can
to.
use a previous one. Means if any custom library already there.
If I, okay, see what will happen, you know, if I do like that, whatever you are saying, if I follow that, you know what will happen? These phrases belong to some library, okay? All these phrases. These phrases will be there. Whatever new phrase I will create, that will not come here. Why it will not come here? Because the phrase which I am creating, the library under which I am creating, may be
In
something
cust
else.
library, yeah. It active library will be cust only. So
How do
that's
you
it.
know that?
Maybe we can understand from the name, right? phrase key, where
Hmm.
first initial 4 character
Oh.
is cursed.
Yeah.
On that only we can understand.
Yes. So if you again go back to the list of phrases, the phrase key which they have given, no, this phrase key, the first part of your phrase key will be actually the library name. So here you can see CUST is the library name. Okay. So it is very easy to identify. Just go to the list of phrases, and in the phrase key, the first part, 4 letters is your library name. Very easy. Or even if you don't know, let's say again you are confused, you are doubtful, then what to do? Just see here, where are we having this value assignment type? This value assignment type is coming under handling and storage. Okay. So go and check in every library. Where do you have any similar name somewhere? You have to go and check. It will take some time, little hard work, but by comparing this handling and storage in your library name, somewhere it will be there. So like that also you can find out. For example, I will first go to, let's say, customer phrase library, then I will check it in the phrase groups. So when I go to phrase groups, I will read each phrase group, and then I will come to a place called handling and storage. You see here, they have given the description of the phrase group as handling and storage. Is it not matching with my value assignment type? Is it not the same? Number is also same. So either comparing your value assignment type with the phrase groups, that is one method, or the easier method is among the available phrases, whatever is the first part in the phrase key, that is a library name. So CUST is the library name. Right? So make a note. Again, don't forget, you have to always write it down. So the phrase library name will be what? CUST. This is my library name. Second, I have to know the phrase group. Under which phrase group is that phrase available, or that value assignment type we have? So what will be the phrase group I have to use? Can I come to know phrase group name from here? Can I come to know phrase group name from here? Any
Not
place?
sure. Maybe N07 dot something.
Zero.
Why N07? We have N01 also. We have N08 also. We have demo also. There are multiple options here. So you cannot rely, you cannot do guesswork. Maybe you will be right, maybe you will be wrong. So we are not sure. So therefore, what you have to do in such a case, you just check out, read what, under what you are creating this data. We are creating this data under handling and storage. So again, what you have to do, library name anyways we know, it is customer phrase library. So go into that library, okay, go to phrase group under that library and just compare what is the phrase group available. I'm sure whatever description they are going to give for the phrase group, that will be same that you are going to use in the value assignment type. So again, when you do the comparison, you will come here to handling and storage. And what is the phrase group name here? Handling and storage is matching here with my value assignment type. Right, it is matching. So I know this is the phrase group.